Hey fellas, listen. So I'm back with another video. So where are all the good women at? We at the house too. We at the house. We're at the house with our good man. Or we're at the house waiting for a foolish woman to fumble a good man. That's what we are. And then while we're waiting for that, we're working on ourselves. We're at the gym. We're eating better. We're working on our mental health, our physical health. Some of us are in counseling and therapy and whatnot. And we're trying to heal from the traumas of our past, so we don't bleed on the new man. He doesn't deserve that foolishness. And good women don't like being bitter. They don't like being angry. They don't like dragging stuff out. And so we're going through a healing journey as well. We don't we out here trying to make it until our husband shows up. That's where we at. We and Like I said, we're out here waiting for a foolish woman to fumble a good man. There's a lot of that going around, and it's almost contagious, and I'm here for it. However, that's how I got my man. A foolish woman fumbled him. They was married for 30 years. But that was in the past. I'm the present now. But I waited for that. I prayed. I did some praying, and I worked on myself. I did some self reflecting, and I wanted to be the best version of myself for whoever God had for me. And so I did the work. I did the work, and because I want what God has for me, but I wanted to be what a good man needed. I knew God would give me what I needed. I just had to let Him do it. So I had to step back. I had to get out of the way, and let Him do it because I was clearly not good at it. I wasn't. I kept choosing wrong. I was not good at it, so I had to sit back and let God do His thing. And sometimes that's where we mess up. And um, so how would a good man that's in the house and a good woman that's in the house, how would they meet? You let go and you let God. That's what you do. You let go and you let God, because, you're still getting gas, you're still going shopping, you're going on vacation, you're still getting out and around in the world. You never know who God has for you. You never know where they are. So for women, we're trying to, uh, uh, we're trying to be ready so we don't have to get ready when our husband approaches us, when our husband finds us. And it's okay for a woman to shoot her shot. It's okay. It doesn't mean that she's chasing. That means she's letting him know that she's interested. She's letting him know that she exists. And sometimes he's not gonna know that unless you step first. So that's what I did. I'm never scared, baby. I shot my shot. I saw what I wanted and I went for it. So here we are, and a few years later, here we are. It's been blissful. It's been blissful. It's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We have our issues, but at the end of the day, we handle our issues with love. We don't hit below the belt. We don't do anything to try to damage the other one, to hurt the other one, because we've been healed from all of that. See, when you're not healed, you can't do that. You're still angry, you're still bitter, so all you feel is pain. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're dealing with, what you're going through. It could be small, but you're going to try to strike with pain because that's what you're still in pain. So that's how you handle yourself with pain. And it's not fair to that person. So if you are a woman that's wanting a husband, you should do some work on yourself. You should do the work. Go to therapy, go to the gym, eat better, work on your spiritual, your mental health. Do what you got to do to be the best version of yourself. So when God brings you that husband, then you're ready for him. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Um, yes, I know you guys are tired. God knows I know y'all tired. I'm tired for y'all. I really am. I really feel bad for y'all. But at the end of the day, all hope is not lost. We are still out there. Now, I'm not on the dating market anymore. I'm not. But there are some women like me who are still out there waiting for their husband. They're working on being the best version of themselves. They're working on being a wife, and healing from that foolishness that they endured before. You know, um, that's where we at though. We're in the house and we're doing pretty much what y'all doing, minding our business, trying to get ourselves together and praying that God has somebody for us. You know, that's where we at. And I hope you guys still, still have some hope that women, the good women, are still. Now, it's not a lot of us out there. I'm not going to front. It's not a lot of us out there. Some people say it's about 20% good women out there, but I find that hard to believe. I disagree. I think it's about 10%, to be honest. We're out there in sprinkles. Um, but I don't want to sound hopeless for y'all. I really, really don't. But there are good women. I have I have given you guys some nuggets on some of my videos on what to look for, what not to look for, what not to accept, and what keeps you from wasting your time. I did that for you guys, and if you just, it's not an all in all. There's exceptions to every rule. But those are the nuggets. Sometimes if you just let a person talk, they'll tell you who they are. You don't have to ask them what type of personality. Just let them talk, especially a female. Oh my God, just let her talk for a minute. She's going to tell you exactly who she is. She will. So, but for the most part, yeah, we out here waiting for a foolish woman to fumble a good man. We waiting for her to fumble, y'all, cause that's how I got mine. Yeah, at 30 years, she was tired, baby. She thought she was tired. She thought she could do better. Whatever the case may be, whatever she thought, she let him go, and I snatched him. I snatched him. Not like that, but I did. I shot my shot, though. I let him know I existed, you know. And once he saw me, he acknowledged me. We started chatting, and here we are. Here we are. So it works. It works. We're still around, and I know there's still good men out there, because he didn't even like my husband. He didn't even like women when we met, and when I say he didn't like women, it's like, he had friends, really close friends that, he still cared for. But as far as dating women, oh, he didn't like us as far as dating us. But then I showed up, and he said I gave him hope that good women still do exist. And it took him a minute to believe I was who I am. It took him a minute. He thought he was waiting for the monster to show up, But once he realized that I'm consistent. I am who I am. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I'm not gonna lie. I am who I am. And once he realized that, then he kind of relaxed. I gave him a safe place. I gave him a safe place to be vulnerable. I gave him a safe place to feel. I gave him a safe place for his heart. He can trust me with his heart. And I just love that for us. I do. And I love that I have given him a sense of relief. I've come in his life, and I've enhanced it in such a way that he didn't know was possible. And he has done the same for me. So I thank God. I thank God. I let go and I let God, because I wasn't good at it. I was just messing up every time, every chance I got. I was messing up. But God came through for your girl. We had a little talk. I had to come to Jesus meeting with him, and I had made a covenant with him. But at the end of the day, he held up his end, I held up mine, and here we are. But guys, yeah, I don't want you to give up hope. And if you do, I get it. To each his own, that's your decision. Nobody been through what you've been through but you dealt with that. So nobody can tell you to get over it. Nobody can tell you to let it go. Nobody can tell you that, because you went through that. And if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I respect that. But um I want you guys to stay hopeful that there are good women out here. Um, so yeah, but we in the house too. We out here. We in the house trying to prepare ourselves for y'all. That's why I say don't give up, because we're working. We're working on ourselves so we can be the best wives for you guys. That's what a smart, real woman would be doing. Because that's what I did, baby. And I'm happy. I'm happy. We happy over here, baby. We happy. Man, my baby happy over here.